Right, question 8. Just realised up so far there are 24 marks available. That's what you could have got. By the end of this one, you'd have got 28, and the boundaries I checked, 27 for this paper is quite high up, gives you a level 5. So that's it. Just below halfway gives you the level 6, so that's the staples around that area there. So it's really, really good. So let's just see what we can do with this. Right, lots of ways of working out this. It's an estimate. They don't want an exact answer, just an estimate. A really neat way of doing this is to split this and say, well, that's roughly square root of 64, roughly, multiplied by roughly square root of 100. Square root of 64, we know that's 8, and that's 10, so that would be 80. Now the range they allow here is anywhere between 75 and 81. And they'll give you marks. If you didn't do it this way, if you said, well, roughly that was 64 times 100, and you write, okay, square root of 6,400, you'd get a mark for that, but it's quite challenging to remember how to work that out, whereas this system, this way of doing it, is slightly easier. Then it says here that 2.3 to the power of 6 equals 148 correct to 3 sig fig. And so then it says, find the value of 0.23 to the power of 6 correct to 3 sig fig. Right, so that's a bit more of a challenge. It's a non-calculated paper, so let's see what we're going to do. Now the difference here is 0.23, and the difference between that and 2.3. Well, 2.3 is 10 times bigger than that, isn't it? So if I were to go like this, and say, right, this number here is going to be 10 to the power of 6 times smaller than this number here. I hope that kind of makes sense. Okay, so if I did that, if I said here, this was 0.23 times 10 to the power of 6 and split it, you can see how this is going to be 10 times to the power of 6 times smaller. Now 10 to the power of 6, we all should know that. That's a million. That's 1 and 6 zeros. So my answer to 148 is I'm going to move that back 6 spaces. Now we don't normally do this. Is a bad way of teaching, but we're going to jump back 6. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there we go. Okay. So it's kind of a neat question, but again, this sort of question may go beyond your ability, and that's fine because we might lose some marks earlier on, but we can gain them elsewhere as well. But it's quite a tricky question, isn't it? And then we get to this one here. Find the value of 5 to the minus 2. Safe ground. What we know is the minus is a reciprocal and the 2 is separate from that. So 5 squared is 25. So it's effectively 25 to the minus 1, which we know is 1 over 25. And so that gets you question 8 done. If you got all of that right, or maybe one mistake, you've got your level 5. So from now onwards, it's all extra points. Okay. Now what it says here is work out these two. Again, that symbol means a multiply. I think it's just a typo here. And give your answer as a mixed number. So this is now no algebra. It's just simply going with it and seeing what happens. So let's go. To do that, I need to make that a vulgar fraction or a top-heavy fraction. I know that there are 6 halves in 3, so that's 7 halves overall. And I know that there are 5/5 in 1, so it's 8/5 in total there. And then a whole bunch of ways I can do this. This is half, honestly, rushing it. Now what I can do is I can cancel out here. That's a nice way of doing it. But I don't want to do that, do I? I just want to multiply through. So here, don't rush it. Slow down. Take your time. 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 8s are 56. 2 5s are 10. So that gets me 5.6 as my answer. But it wants it as a mixed fraction. So the decimal is not going to give you it. So that's going to be, let's put that as 5 and 6/10. 6/10 I can simplify to being 3/5. And there you go. So just so you can see, when you get into an easy question, you think, oh, this is much easier than question 8b. You can sometimes over-relax and make silly mistakes all over the place. So just slow down and breathe, and you should be able to do it well.